A trio of siblings were all in their parents' room when they swore they witnessed a chair rocking without any human interaction. It was as if someone or something was sitting inside of it, causing the phenomenon to happen. But due to the clear view of the front and back of the chair, it was obvious that nothing visible actually caused this. That beckons the question though, what did? And I think we all know the true answer, but I'll let you have a watch beforehand.
Okay, I'm here with my cousin Braden, my cousin Benton, and my brother Karsten. And this is our parents' bedroom. And we've been catching this rocking chair moving by itself. And nobody believes us. But we're all here at home alone, and we're going to see if we can catch it now. Somebody want to ask it to move?
Move.
I will. Please, sir or ma'am, please move the chair if you can.
Or male or female, move.
I'm scared.
Me too.
Probably ain't going to do it with us sitting here.
Oh, I'm so scared, cousin. Why is the trash, cousin?
Is it moving a little bit?
Oh my gosh.
It is.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, man, that's so creepy. Why do we have to stand here? Huh?
Wait, hold on, wait. Somebody go see if somebody's behind
Okay,
there.
I will.
Let's go. How do we have to do this?
Oh, no one's behind there. Oh,
Let me
gosh.
see. Let me get it on
gosh.
camera.
Oh gosh.
But it is moving. And nobody's back
I'm
there.
so scared.
And plus, you can see in the mirror. Nobody's standing behind there while it's moving. Oh, it's slowing down now. Is it going to do it anymore for us? Nope. Stop. So there we go. We got it on camera.
It was evident that a spirit caused this from the fact alone of the chair moving after the siblings asked it to. They were all frightened by this, but due to being a trio, they were able to feel much less fear than usual in such a circumstance, and luckily caught it on camera. They sent the video to their mother and uploaded it to YouTube to see what they should do next, but the vast majority of people online didn't believe them, so offered no aid. If you have any advice for these kids, then leave it in the comments so that if they come across the video, they can get the help that they deserve. Ghost hunting in terms of a paid profession is something that I can get behind, because the amount of money that people get paid for their work in this industry is surreal. However, when people do this as a hobby rather than a job, things begin to feel strange. Alonzo was a ghost hunter, far different from the rest, and instead of using his love for the paranormal as a tool to make a living, he simply had fun with it. Whether it was using Ouija boards inside his own house, or exploring others and helping them out free of charge, he was happy to do it, and this is why Alonzo was seen as a bit of an outcast. Regardless though, he continued to help people in haunted trouble, and the following video comes from one of his house visits. Before I show you the video though, if you have any paranormal clips and would like me to break them down in a future video for you, then send the footage to drokumedia1@gmail.com and give me the story of what happened. Now, have a watch.
Aquí hay muchas manos, para que vean que aquí hay manos. Dime cómo te llamas. ¿Por qué estás aquí? Uy, algo están pegando. Vean todas las manos que hay aquí. Vean todas las manos que hay aquí. Uy, ¿dónde estás? ¿Qué es eso? ¿Qué es eso? ¿Qué es eso? ¿Estás aquí conmigo? ¿Cómo te llamas? ¡Ay, se volteó! ¡Ay, se volteó! ¡Se volteó la cabeza! ¡Para! Volteó la cabeza! Uy, no manches, la cabeza la volteó. Uy, me dio miedo. ¿Cómo te llamas? ¿Cómo te llamas? Vamos a levantar esto. Vamos a levantar esto. Mira, muy feo. Manches, está llorando, amigos. Está como llorando. Está como llorando. Vean, vean, vean. Está como llorando, miren. Miren. Está como llorando, miren. Miren. ¿Cómo te llamas? Si estás aquí, quiero que me digas tu nombre.
The first weird part of this video was that Alonso's device was indicating a presence and trying extremely hard to translate what it was trying to say, but unfortunately failed. This was not the spookiest part though. The spirit also decided to move the mannequin, and Alonso made it very evident that there were no attachments on it. This video was the act of a ghost, but it was Alonso. He looked back and enjoyed it. One day, James was doing the innocent activity of eating breakfast when he got a really weird and eerie feeling out of nowhere. It felt like he was being stared at deep into his soul, so he decided to do the most logical thing and look around. His head scanned the room, but was drawn to a counter, and to the surprise of James, a cup from this counter launched itself across the room as if a person had thrown it. It was after this that he started to record the incident, just in case anything else followed, and he did the right thing because it did.
Off the table. Cleaned up all the glass, as you can see. But I'm home alone, and even when I'm not home alone, all this stuff seems to happen. What was that? I'm not feeling too well. You know what? Gotta calm down. I'm gonna find out what this is. I'm gonna find out what this is. Really? Really? Nobody's here. You coward. What? Wow, the lights turned off by themselves. I'm scared. What was that? Did you see that? Did you hear that? This is scary. Let me scan around. I really should call out a paranormal investigation team. Oh my gosh. It's cold. It's freezing cold. I can't touch it. It's so cold. I'm so scared. Really? Really? I can't deal with this anymore. I'm leaving.
This was a big step up from a moving cup, and all sorts of hauntings happened within a short period of time, which is referred to as a paranormal surge. The most prominent incident was when the stool collapsed to the ground on its own accord, and happened to be freezing cold in the aftermath, which anybody who knows anything about ghosts knows is a huge giveaway of a presence. James contacted a ghost hunter after this incident, and surprisingly, negotiated a low price, so they are expected to come within 2 weeks. All we can do is pray that the hunt turns out successful. Mark and Shannon were a happy couple living in a not-so-happy environment, and it was quite sad to be completely honest. They were perfect for each other and could not wait to live as one. But when they started to rent their first property, they had no clue that it was going to be haunted. Every time one of them was left alone in the house, a huge paranormal surge would happen, and luckily for you, Mark decided to record his entire evening once, just to prove to some doubters that this phenomenon was actually happening to them, and I managed to find the footage. Here you go.
Something's not right now. I don't know what it is. Something is not right, dude. What is it? What's up there? What is it to you? My adrenaline's pumping, my heart is racing. I've already seen some fucking weird shit. God damn. Oh, oh my God.
The spirit opened the kitchen cupboard on video, and it was obvious that no natural thing caused it to happen. Mark sent the video to all of his friends that doubted him, but to his dismay, none of them believed him, and thought he was more of a weirdo for pretending and setting up a fake experience. Do you think the experience looked fake? Let me know in the comment section, but I personally think it looked authentic enough to believe. On February the 5th of 2025, Maddie was at home when something spooked her so much that she had to evacuate her house and hide in her vehicle whilst waiting for her family to come and protect her. It's important to note that before this event, she had never experienced anything paranormal, but when she noticed a shadow figure moving in her yard, she knew that it was far from a natural light casting. Here it is.
I understand this is probably going to sound insane or look like a blur to you, but I was crying. I watched this thing move across in my rearview mirror when I was driving back of my car to the front. I could see it from outside and in the mirror. I got out of my car, like staring at me, but if I looked away, I couldn't find it until it was closer. I have never felt fear like this. The hair on my arms was standing up. I was crying on the phone with my mom, waiting for my stepdad to come over because I couldn't believe this is what I really saw.
While poor Maddie was sitting in the locked car, the shadow figure continuously stared at her, and every time she looked away from it, it supposedly got closer. It was genuinely like a horror movie for her, and she even suffers from PTSD because of it. Beyond this point, she becomes scared by the most normal shadow castings and thinks that the spirit is haunting her again. There have been no verified sightings of the spirit from Maddie since, though, and we are safe to believe that the only long-lasting effect from all of this is her trauma. A tourist called Mitchell was visiting Scotland and decided that he was going to take a leisurely stroll down a nice and long road. When he reached a certain point, though, he began to hear some distinct banging, but assuming it was just a human using a hammer or something, he ignored it. As he got closer and closer to the sound, though, it intensified, and the rate in which it happened only got louder. It was when he reached an abandoned building that he realized it must have been the source. Curiously, he walked around the building to see if he could figure out what was causing the banging, and sure enough, he was successful. This is what he found.
it is a ghost.
It's just a wind.
Wait. Must be a ghost.
No, it's a wind.
No, it's a ghost.
Let's go.
There's nothing else there. Yeah, what else could it be?
See? Really?
I told you it was haunted.
Now, there are several reasons why this could have been faked, but I am about to debunk them. First of all, the wind could have easily caused the door to move, but if this was the case, why would it have stopped the second another noise was made behind the door? Secondly, there could have been an animal or person behind the door barging against it, but no matter how far you zoom into the crack, absolutely no movement was visible. Everybody in their right mind knows that this place was haunted. The man who recorded the following video is actually a viewer of the channel who submitted the content to drokumedia1@gmail.com in order to be featured, and if you want something similar, then make sure to do the same. A few years ago, he made a very small YouTube channel where he would read scary stories in the location that they happened in, and it was quite a cool idea, I must say. After the event that I am about to show you though, he was forced to give up entirely and never wanted to do something of this sort ever again. It took place in Jerome, Arizona, in the Jerome Grand Hotel, and it was extremely creepy. He had just finished reading a letter from a subscriber when this happened.
Okay.
The viewer was woken up by the sound of feet running across his hotel room, and he instantly turned on his mobile phone camera, followed by his flashlight. There was a loud noise that struck fear into him, but then out of nowhere, the tap turned itself on. This had to be a spirit rather than some sort of pipe issue because the handle had physically turned, meaning something had to have moved it, and it was evident that nothing else was in the room at the time. This experience was very spooky, and all we can do is hope that they haven't experienced anything of the sort since. I won't forget to say thank you to the kind viewer who submitted this, and the email is on screen if you want your clips to be in our future videos. Eliza was an innocent child with a loving family and had never really gotten himself into trouble. He and his close friends had a small group chat where they would send videos back and forth to each other to keep updated on their lives, and Eliza decided to take one of all of the ladybugs that had somehow made it into his room. For some reason, there were 3 of them all on the same wall, and he had to show his friends, but little did he know what was about to occur in this recording.
Show you all the ladybugs I have currently crawling on my wall. There's 1, 2, and 3. I really have no idea where they all came from. It's so annoying. Look at this little dude. Oh, what the oh my god. What the fuck?
Out of the blue, a large bang happened behind him, and he turned around to see some items on the floor that should not have been there. This was followed by a toy launching itself off from the cupboard. Shortly after he turned around, and this frightened Eliza. He ran out of his room before uploading the video to YouTube and sending it to his friends. They were in just as much disbelief as he was. The following video took place during a high-stress situation, and it is safe to say that the people who caused it were rather silly. You see, Pete was at work doing what he had to be doing to live, when all of a sudden he received a phone call from his neighbors telling him that the light was flickering aggressively. Why they informed him of a potential break-in rather than the police is beyond me, but Pete quickly got into his vehicle and drove home. With a high sense of urgency, he unlocked the door to uncover whatever was causing the light to flicker on the inside, and this is what went on from that point and forwards.
Work, and my neighbors called and said that my light is flickering in my apartment. So, let's go look. Nobody should be in here right now. Bro, why is my pot? Why is that on? Why was that damn door? That door was not shut. I don't. Who are you? What do you want? I'm out.
Straight after entering the property, the flickering came to a sudden stop and nobody was seen inside. The first thing that Pete realized was that the stove was on, and he was certain that he had not left it that way. Otherwise, there definitely would have been a fire, so it must have only activated recently. Fortunately, he reached it in time to turn it off without a fire hazard, but this poltergeist was definitely close to causing far more damage than it likely intended. Stephen was quite the alcoholic when it came to English football matches, and his favorite type of beer was a Stella, by far. Every weekend, he would sit in front of the television and live a sedentary lifestyle, watching players run around and kick a ball whilst he was sitting on his large sofa and getting himself drunk. One day when an important match was happening, Stephen had a few more cans and got even more drunk than usual, and something happened that he initially believed was a figment of his drunk imagination. However, after looking back at the footage, he is now fully aware that this was not the case.
I think he's a bit camera shy himself. No, he still on the move. He just don't know where he wants to go, really.
I'll put some candles here. Come to us.
You still can.
Come on.
Stephen's can of Stella somehow started to creep across the room as if it had a life of its own, and at the time, he was not frightened by this. He thought that his mind was playing games with him, but he was horrified after opening his camera roll the next morning, even posting the footage online. Since this day, he has never witnessed anything similar again, and shows the video to everyone. It's his claim to fame, if you will. Becoming a grandmother is a huge part of somebody's life, and the grandma in the video that you are about to watch was making the most out of it. She was invited to babysit the children every couple of weeks, and whenever she came over, she made sure that she gave them the most fun day of their week. This time, she purchased some PlayDoh for them and went as far as buying a machine that let them shape the PlayDoh into all sorts of unique shapes. This was supposed to be an amazing toy, and she was sure that the eldest child would love it, but unfortunately, she was proven wrong in a way that nobody could have possibly predicted.
What are you doing, August? Playing with Play-Doh?
The toy moved on its own accord and freaked out the child evidently. The grandmother had purchased it from a normal retail store, so it made no sense as to why it would be haunted. She must have genuinely just gotten unlucky, as most victims of poltergeists do. The man who filmed the following series was known as the Killer Pigeon online, but his real name was Sam. He was watching some YouTube on his PC when he realized he could use his mobile camera as a PC webcam and decided to hook it up and test it out. This was revolutionary to him because he was planning on purchasing a webcam for his piece in order to record YouTube videos, but if his phone could do the trick, he would no longer need to save up for one because they are on the expensive side of things. The video you are about to see is a snapshot from his test, but something very peculiar happened. Have a watch.
I'm literally freaking shaking right now. I'm just so freaking scared. I just got finished checking my whole apartment. I just found out, oh my god, I just found out you can connect your camera to your computer that doesn't have a webcam, and you can use your phone as a camera. Okay, so I was on the photo booth app. I was just like, okay, let me play around with it. I haven't used this in forever, and oh my god, I'm so. I was taking the photos, whatever, and I was looking back at them, and I saw that there's this black line, and it's because my cabinet opened a little bit, and I went to the next one, and I don't even know why this is like lit up back here. You know, this is like the thermal photo thing, and it's like lit up. So I kept going to the next one, and I swear I freaked out because one, I don't know how it opened, but two, I swear that's like a face right there. Like it's literally like I don't understand like what that could be. Like it's literally a face, and I'm like I'm freaking out right now. And the next one, like the computer started glitching, so it took, I don't know what this is, and then I took a photo. When I realized, it just like snapped a photo automatically. But I swear that's, and I've already checked. I checked my whole apartment. And this, I thought maybe it was up this because this is black up here, but it was on the second shelf. Like it was not up. It was right here, and there's nothing that looks anything remotely like that. Like it's so, I don't understand. I don't know if I'm overreacting or I don't know what to do. Like I swear that's a face.
Slowly, Sam realized that the cabinet behind him had slowly opened whilst he was taking the photos, and this should not have happened, considering it had never done this before. Furthermore, an uncanny face was spotted within the crack of the doorway, staring deep into the camera, and after investigating the cabinet, it was evident that nothing within it looked remotely like the face. In order to gather some second opinions, Sam posted the video to social media, which is how I got a hold of it, and the reception was pretty similar to how he reacted. People believed that this must have been some form of poltergeist or paranormal entity, and that it looked nothing like anything in the cabinet. So now it was just a matter of how Sam approached things. He reached out to several ghost hunters, but he found none who would do the job without further evidence, so he resorted to complying with them. He needed to stay in the house for longer and gain more videos, so he did, and one night he was successful.
I was just filming, and all of a sudden I see like the clothes just move in my closet, and every time they would turn on, I'd see them move a little bit more, and then I heard something just fall, so I immediately just stopped recording and I got up. But essentially it was just a hanger. Like looking back at the video now, I can see the hanger literally just fly off. Oh my god, you can literally see the pole. And lights here, and this is the hanger that fell, and this is the clothes that were shaking, and there's no way, like there's no space for anything, there's nothing, and I just don't know how that happened. And like for the hanger to like fly out, like they're obviously hooked. You guys use hangers. So I don't know. That was very strange and weird. And once I got up and checked everything, everything seemed to go back to normal. Did I go back to sleep? Absolutely not, but yeah, there we go. Another thing caught on camera. But yeah, we'll see how today goes.
Out of nowhere, the light in the closet began to flicker on and off uncontrollably, and as he clearly demonstrated, movement was a requirement for this to occur. As he desperately took out his phone and filmed the incident though, it became even more severe. The clothing inside of the closet started to shake aggressively, and the next day when Sam gave us a tour of the closet, it was extremely clear that there was no way anybody or anything could have fit inside of there to fake the video. Now so far, both of the clips that Sam had captured were from afar, and he had never plucked up the courage to get close to the action. In this final clip though, that changed, and he actually went to investigate what was going on. The tap for his bathtub continued to turn itself on and off at random intervals, so Sam decided that he was going to investigate the scene, and this is what he came across.
Okay, so it's 3 o'clock in the morning again right now. The water in my tub is turning on and off and on and off. It's been going on for a few minutes. I'm gonna go see what's going on. Oh shit. Oh, my shot glasses. Oh, this.
After turning off the tap and finally hearing silence, the cupboard started to vigorously shake, followed by one of his shot glasses collapsing to the ground and smashing. The only positive outcome of this is that he finally had enough evidence to get a ghost hunter down to the house, and they are scheduled to come within a week. We will update you on this channel if the cleansing works, or if it does not, so subscribe so you do not miss it. Ian, also known as the Midwest Ghost Hunter, has become a regular on this channel over the last few months and appears in almost every single video. This is because he is by far the most consistent ghost hunter, posting new content all of the time to make sure that he keeps both his viewers and himself busy. The following video took place in a haunted manor and shows his experience with a deranged patient who was known for chasing the nurses who worked in the manor all around it, eventually being locked inside of a room until death, which is why he haunts the location. This was the interaction.
Hard to breathe in here. I really don't like this feeling. I can feel your presence, but I'm not afraid. So if you charge at me, just know I'm not gonna run. There's his room. At least they think it's his room. Room 2. That's where that deranged patient used to chase nurses. And that's why they think that that might be him. I'm coming up to your room, okay? Don't be alarmed. Ooh, what is that? What is that? I keep hearing like movement in there. I can hear you in there. Come on out. Oh my god. That door just partially opened. Oh. Oh, come on, Ian. Just go up to it. Hello? Who's in here? This room's locked. I can't even go in there. Why would they lock it? To keep him in there? Maybe I can look through the crack. The crack of the door. Hello? Anyone in here? That just sounded like a breath. That just sounded like a breath. Oh God. Oh, oh my God. Oh, fuck. Ah, that fucking hurt. Oh, God. Oh, God. Get me out of here. Oh, I felt something slam that door on me. Holy shit. I don't know how much more this is gonna... It's coming after me. Oh God, oh God, oh God. Oh fuck, oh fuck. I'm out of here. I'm done for the night. I can't take this. I can't take it.
It was clear that the patient was not content and was very agitated that it was bound to one room. It opened and closed the door, even breathing down the crack once, but that was nowhere near the worst part. The shadow of the spirit seemed to have escaped the room and darted at poor Ian on the other side of the door. This was more than enough to frighten him away from the location for due course. I have no doubt that Ian will be featured in a Haunter video exploring this hellhole again though. The following video was captured by a shopkeeper called Damien, who was walking around making sure that everything was in pecking order before opening the store. It was very important to make sure that all the items were displayed well and nothing was misplaced, because it helped to maximize sales, which is important for obvious reasons. One day, whilst Damien was on shift doing this regular work, he started to feel weird and heard odd sounds. It was because of this that he started to film and managed to get this on camera.
Bueno, gente, soy el sereno acá de este supermercado y ahora estoy por lavar toda esta zona. Esta sería la zona de huevos, lácteos. Y bueno, acabo de escuchar algo en la fiambrería. Debe ser mi amigo el fantasma. ¿Qué querrá, no? Parece que mi amigo el fantasma se quiere comunicar a través de esas luces. Fantasma, ¿quieres tú algo? ¿Estás aquí? Dime. Ah, bueno. ¿Qué quieres? Hola. Bueno. ¿Me dejas trabajar mejor, fantasma? Por favor. ¿Me dejas? Que quiero trabajar tranquilo. ¿Estamos? Por favor.
All sorts of weird phenomena started to happen around the store, and Damien knew that something was there with him. From falling bread to collapsing trays, all of this would not have happened by sheer coincidence, and the spirit was making its presence known. This was a horrible experience for Damien and actually made him religious. Fortunate, neither him or the shop have seen or hosted any more activity since this date. The kitchen is a common place for paranormal activity, and I have absolutely no idea as to why. Seemingly every video that I publish on this channel has 1 or 2 instances that take place in the kitchen, and the one that you are about to see is no different. It took place in the home of Casos, a Spanish father of 2 who was enjoying his day off from work after lying about being sick. The bad karma got to him though, because this happened whilst he was supposed to be having a relaxed time.
Bueno, ahí para que vean después el video se lo voy a mostrar. Estoy colocando agüita para llevar un tecito, un termo. Vuelvo a cerrar. Tengo la taza. Está. Ese es mi bebé. Esa pulguita es mi bebé, que se llama Canela. Y esperando. Para que vean esta piolita. Ya, ahí empezó. Ya. Voy a empezar a huevear. Estoy hueveando. Bueno. No es algo muy normal. La taza se movió. El gato. No es muy agradable la sensación que se vive acá. Ya, es hueveo, ya. Ya cabros, un ratito para afuera.
He started to hear some mysterious sounds coming from the kitchen, so he did what anybody would have done and investigated. He expected to see something such as a rodent or his cat causing chaos, but what Casos found was very disturbing. The mug moved itself on its own accord not once, but twice, indicating that it was haunted. Casos was extraordinarily lucky to have caught this on camera, because who knows who would have believed him otherwise. Donna Ays is a woman who you will be very familiar with if you are a regular on this channel. She has been a victim of paranormal activity for an extended period of time now, and she has uploaded so much content about her spirit that she will probably be seen in haunter videos several years down the line. The thing that makes her spirit weird is that a lot of its behaviors match that of her ex-husbands, who passed away a few months before the hauntings began. This has led many theorists to believe that he is the one haunting her, but if this is the case, then he must have a serious vendetta against her based on what he does.
Guys, I just thought I'd put you back on. That coin seems to like me very much because it just won't stop. It seems to be making... It's just doing its own shit. And you've got to see this. It is freezing, by the way, on where I'm stood. And I can hear... You wouldn't believe me if I said... Because you'll think I'm fucking losing the plot. I'm not. How is this possible? Guys, you've got to be seeing this. Who are you? What do you want? Are you restless? What do you want? Why won't you leave me alone? What is it you're trying to tell me? Guys, you're seeing this, aren't you? This is ridiculous. Guys, this is ridiculous. The fuck? This... Are you... No, shit. Sorry guys, but I'm just coming in here. That coin just flew at me, right at me. Something. I don't know if it's because I have a Ouija board now and I'm egging this spirit on, but it's getting very violent, very. I'm just going to upload this footage now, guys, because there's too much happening now.
In this clip, the poltergeist toys with a coin that Donna left on the table, and she is evidently scared by this. If the ghost was that of her husband, it likely would have stopped once he realized she was in fear. But going off the fact that it continued to mess with the coin, and even launched it towards her, I am starting to tilt away from that theory. Let me know what you think in the comments. Diego worked in the storage unit at his local institution, and it was a job he enjoyed very much due to how easy it was for the pay. All he needed to do was keep tabs on how much stock the company had, so that if anything went wrong, such as an item being stolen, he could notify the higher-ups to resolve the issue. While the job was incredibly easy though, every now and then Diego felt kind of bored, because it did not involve much, and the majority of the time, nothing went wrong. Occasionally, he would yearn for some sort of crazy event to happen mid-shift for some simple entertainment, and one day, his optimisms were gratified. Take a look.
Mochila. ¿Qué es acá?
What seemed to be something along the lines of a bedsheet fell from the trolley, and Diego was completely and utterly baffled. He had no clue how he was supposed to react to such an incident, and actually ended up notifying his boss shortly after it happened. His boss claimed that it must have been caused by a source of wind, but there were no windows where this place was making this excuse. Lame, to put it in a light tone. This was definitely a ghost, and the only people who deny this are non-believers. When you think of the term ghost hunters, the chances are that you think of somebody whose job is to go out and seek ghosts. Whilst in most cases this would not be wrong, not all ghost hunters have this as a job, and many just do it as a hobby. The clip that you are next going to be exposed to was captured by one of those people who searched for spirits simply out of entertainment. His name is Ellis, and he decided to explore a haunted house when he caught this on camera.
Oye, no mames, ¿qué fue eso?
¿Hay alguien?
Oye, alguien corre, alguien corre, alguien corre.
¿Hay alguien aquí?
Miren, aquí hay puertas, como que alguien quitó la puerta.
¿Hay alguien aquí?
Uy, 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 se acaba de mover esto, amigos. Se acaba de mover esto. Y esto se movió.
¿En dónde estás? ¿Dónde estás? Queremos verte.
Se acaba de mover esto. Uy, watchen. Uy. Uy. Ahí está caminando, amigos. Ahí está caminando. ¿Hay alguien? Uy, me caigo. ¿Hay alguien aquí? Si estás aquí, quiero que te manifiestes. Uy, ¿qué fue eso? ¿Qué es eso?
All sorts of clearly haunting things happened around the household, and there was no denying that a spirit was behind all of this. Despite doing this as a hobby for quite some time, Ellis was rather petrified this time around, and after ending the recording, left the scene completely. Camping in the woods can be a great experience or a horrible one, and it is rare that you manage to find anything in between. You could either have a blast with your friends and have zero sleep with maximum fun, or be stuck in the middle of a murder scene, and unfortunately, the latter was the case for the couple in our next video. They were having an innocent camping trip in the middle of the woods, then they suddenly heard some loud screaming noises that sounded way too close for comfort. This beckoned the woman to grab her phone and take this.
When the sun goes down. Got a load of kids running around in here. Can you hear them all?
That's a big ass dog.
That's a girl crying. Can you hear that, guys? Hang on. Turn the lights off for a minute, people. Turn these lights off. Turn these lights off. Hang on a minute, guys. We've got to turn these lights off. Turn the lights off. Turn that light off. Turn it off. Shh. Shh. Just sit down. It is a girl. It is kids, guys, but I did hear a girl, so can you just bear with us a minute? Because that bloke sounds a bit weird. Just bear with, yeah? Is he getting closer? Can we just turn all the lights off so he can't see us, please? Because he sounds really weird. Where's he gone? Oh my God. I can't even hear anything, and that's... What was that? I'm at Brian's, Sam. I'm near Brian's. See? I don't mind hunting ghosts, but it's the humans that worry me.
Same here.
Human beings freak me out.
Give me a cryptid any day.
I just want to know that he's gone, really. Is that him? That sounds far away.
Yeah.
Fucking hell. Right, okay, we're coming back. Give us a minute. Sorry, that was
savage.
That was just you know what it is, it's Saturday night Saturday night, so even if they're playing around or not, he did sound a bit, yeah, I don't really want him coming over to me. So,
Eventually, after a long period of time, the screaming came to a complete halt, and the two of them took a few moments to gain the confidence to turn the lights back on. Whoever was behind this clearly had ill intent, and they were both fortunate to have come out safe. The scariest form of paranormal activity is a debatable topic, and I can see myself listening to arguments for all sorts of types. One form of hauntings that I just fail to see past, however, is apparitions, and this is because they tend to have a creepy and uncanny nature. The following video took place in a little girl's room and was actually filmed by the girl who had only recently been gifted a mobile device from her parents. It is truly horrific that a spirit had the heart to put her through this. For a split second, the apparition of an uncanny spirit appeared in her room and it looked terrifying. She sprinted downstairs and showed her mother after the recording ended, who was equally as freaked out by the clip, and rightfully so. Alex is a woman who has appeared on this channel before for having a haunted home that she managed to obtain some clips from. This video is adding to her haunter appearance tally and showcases another time that she managed to catch the spirit in the act on camera, except this time it happened all around the house. Alex seemed to have to trek around the entire building to see what was going on, and she got a lot on camera. Due to having a portfolio of evidence ready to show off to a ghost hunter, once she had enough to hire one, she added this video to it, and if she posts anything else, you will be the first to see it if you subscribe. Snooker is a game enjoyed and played by many across the world, and this is likely due to how simple the fundamentals and mechanics are. Tables are installed in almost every single bar, and some fortunate households are able to own one, but the one in the video that you are about to watch was in a metro station, the break room for the staff in particular. One day, a man called Caesar, one of the members of staff, claimed to have seen the snooker table have some balls move without any human interaction, and so he came to the decision of taking out his camera to record the table and see if it would happen again. Did it? Well, have a watch and find out.
Chucha, weón. Oh, conchetumare. Oh, mierda. Oh, qué weá. Qué weá. Oh, cabro. Cabro. Cabro, weón.
To the surprise of Cesar, it did in fact happen again, and this time it was even more aggressive than the last. He quickly took his findings to the main office in order to inquire about what they were going to do next. To the dismay of Cesar, nobody actually believed him and accused him of making some form of system that made the snooker balls move for attention. And since Cesar did not do this, he got rather offended. He quit the job with a 2-week notice and walked out of the building, praying that the gauntings would continue so that they would eventually believe him and he would get the last laugh. The following video took place inside the household of Abdul, a religious man who had full faith in a spiritual world that was by no means accessible to humankind. He believed that this world was full of entities, and whether they were evil demons attempting to cause chaos, or holy angels trying to restore peace wherever the demons walked, they existed. Abdul did, however, believe that compared to the rest of the world, he was a nobody, and he would be the last person that a demon would attempt to torment. Well, in the video that I am going to expose you to right now, this theory was proven wrong. Quite a few things happened in this clip, with the primary focus being physical hauntings. The thing that I would like to point out the most, though, is the fact that the supposed demon pushed some form of holy scripture to the floor. Abdul explained after the incident that until this happened, he was okay and could cope with the situation, but after that his heart started racing. All the act did was prove that this poltergeist was not an angel of God, and rather a demonic creature from hell. Julio Gomez was a man who took pride in his hobbies, even though some of them were very abnormal, to put things lightly. For example, one of his most enjoyable activities was to visit all sorts of locations that are deemed as haunted and prove whether or not their label is true, and through this, he has gained a decent social media following. In the piece of content that I am going to show you, he visited the cellar of a bar that supposedly had a spiritual little girl haunting it, and the stories of her went back through absolute centuries. Julio knew that this spirit was not aggressive due to the reports, but just wanted to make sure that this wasn't some fake publicity stunt from the bar to garner more customers and hence make more revenue for their business. Here is the short clip that Julio managed to capture.
Niña marciana, ¿dónde estás? Niña marciana, ¿dónde estás?
At the start of the clip, a wailing sound echoed down the stairwell, and Julio was extremely freaked out by this. It sounded like the source of the sound was in pain and most certainly suffering, but due to his knowledge of the place being haunted, he had no urgency to check on the likely spirit. He slowly went up the stairs in case the girl was real and was cautious of a sudden paranormal surge. And you guessed it, the second he fell for the bait of the poltergeist, a locker moved on its own accord down the stairs. This place was 100% haunted, and it went down as another successful mission from Julio. On December the 1st of 2021, Carlos, a Mexican man who lived with his small family of 3, was home alone whilst his wife and son were out clothes shopping late at night. Carlos was an innocent man, and that is not a far-stretched comment whatsoever. He did not believe in any sort of what he called paranormal rubbish, or any religious things, because he was more of an "I'll believe it if I see it" kind of guy. Carlos used to throw this quote around all the time, and he was given the nickname "See It Carlos" at his workplace, which even he managed to have a chuckle at. Little did anybody know, though, that one day Carlos was going to see it and become a believer for the rest of his life. This is that date.
Hola amigos de TikTok, nada más quería decirles que estaba por empezar live y todo el día se había estado haciendo como una vibra muy mala en la casa. Había tiempo que no pasaban estas cosas desde que puse la cámara. De hecho me voy a atrever ahorita a bajar, aprovechando que los perros están muy ladridos. Hola. Ahí solo está mi queridísima bicha viendo no sé qué donde el árbol. ¡Bicha! ¡Bicha!
Carlos went downstairs into his sitting room to find the cat behaving quite strangely. Usually she rested on her little bed beside the kitchen door, but this time around she was alert and sitting on the sofa. We all know that there is a theory of cats being able to spot ghosts too. Just to back up the fact that the cat sensed a spiritual presence, one of her toys moved without any visible force acting upon it, and this made it clear to Carlos that he was being haunted. He put the toy into the trash and immediately made a trip to the tip, never encountering any spirits again. It's rare in a haunter video that I include a clip from the same person twice, except space them apart. But this time, I am going to do just that. Clip 2 of this video was taken by a man named Abdul, and as I said, he was a religious man who experienced a demon attempting to haunt him. After that incident, Abdul decided to add new prayers to his routine and ask to be protected from said demons, but despite his efforts, they continued to come. He was becoming really stressed out with it all and was tempted to hire an exorcist to come and help him handle the situation. Here is another clip that Abdul captured from the haunting.
Me llama mucho la atención. Esta silla la había comprado yo en un centro comercial. Realmente no me la traje de ningún lado. Pero me llama mucho la atención porque cuando quiero... Bueno, se ha estado moviendo muy raro. Y... Bueno, por ejemplo... Sia, quiero hablar contigo. Sia, quiero hablar contigo. Eso es lo que me llama la atención. Se me ve como si de verdad no quisiera que yo hablara con ella. Ven aquí, ven otra vez a este lado. Sia. Paso de este lado y es exactamente la misma situación. Sia. Sigue moviéndose como si nada. Sia, ¿por qué no quieres que hablemos, Sia? Otra vez. No sé por qué sucede eso. Es como si me negara, como si no quisiera.
This time around, the spirit was much more low-key about it. Instead of outright pushing his holy scripture to the ground, Abdul's gaming chair continued to move without anybody on it, and it was clear that no strings were attached. Very creepy. Working as a night shift security guard is a stressful job, regardless of what happens. The eeriness of being alone is enough to break any man into a psychotic state, but when you add the spiritual world into the mix, it becomes a recipe for disaster. The guard who was able to catch our next video on film was working in a children's hospital and hated his job to the maximum. He was always complaining about things, and his family often begged him to quit for his own mental health, but it paid well, so he held out. One night an event happened that tilted him into the idea of quitting, and immediately after he handed in his 2-week notice. Take a look.
Grabado por guardia de seguridad.
He continued to hear knocking from the exact same door all night, and eventually decided that it would be smart to film so that he could show his boss why he was going to quit. Nobody else was in the building with the guard, and his job was a solo one, so it physically could not have been a human that was the root of this dramatic event. Destiny loved making TikToks and put absolutely anything and everything on her page. Unfortunately, none of her videos really hit the spotlight until the one that I am going to show you. It was filmed by her boyfriend and soon-to-be fiancé, who was out of the house doing work. He was a Wi-Fi installation worker for his local broadband company and was sent to households all across his state. Unlike most people in this field, he loved working with electricity and could not have asked for a better job if every single one was made available to him. But of course, every now and then some bad or strange things happen, and this was one of them.
There's nobody in here.
After hearing the first wave of this, the man was deeply frightened and took out his mobile device to see if he could record it for a second time. He was able to, and that was what the video was, which he sent to his girlfriend, who went on to upload it to her socials. Do you think there could have been a natural cause for this? Well, let me know down below. In a recent video on this channel, we looked into the haunted lifestyle of the Midwest ghost hunter, and based on that name alone, you can tell where this is going. This man will go anywhere and everywhere to catch the thrill of seeing a spirit, and the 2 clips that you are about to witness came from an abandoned sanatorium. The time was 2 a.m., and all the way through this trip, he experienced true horrors, but I picked a few out just for you guys. So here is the first.
So right here, I've got a spirit box. I'm going to see if I can get any communication through this. Oh, jeez, before I even get it out, I'm already hearing things. Hello? Who's down there? I'm hearing weird noises down there. Who's down there? State your name. Oh, holy shit. Those were footsteps. Oh, God. Who's down there? Oh, come on, Ian. Let's go towards them. I'm coming towards you. Whoever or whatever's up here is giving me a creepy vibe.
These noises were very unsettling for the Midwest ghost hunter, because it was clear that the poltergeist behind them wanted him to know of its presence. The footsteps got to him the most because they were swift and quiet, almost as if the spirit was on its tiptoes. This was not all that he managed to hear, though.
It's kind of weird. You can see all the pipes and stuff in there. There's like a window to it too. I've never really seen anything like that. Just trying to check out all the different rooms I haven't gone in yet. Oh, here's another bathroom. Hello? That was me. It's like some showers. Damn, this room is creepy. Oh god, gotta look around this corner. Nothing in there. What about over here? Well, these are some tiny showers. They really didn't give you much space back then, huh? Holy moly. That sounded like a female voice. Hello? Hello? Ma'am? Who's over here? Okay, I know I heard someone down this hallway. Where are you? That woman's voice was so loud I heard it echo. It echoed through this hallway. She seemed nice. At least I hope so. That came from outside. Whoa. What the? Whoa, I just saw something. Something just moved. It was right over here. Something just walked by this. I saw it with my own eyes. Ma'am, are you out here? Thought I'd just seen you. See if I can see her again. Hello? Whoa! I just heard her voice again! It was right over here. Look! There's nothing! There's nothing here!
This time he heard the voice of a female, which confirmed the gender of the spirit to him. Furthermore, he saw some pretty frightening graffiti pieces on the wall, including a satanic symbol which could have insinuated that the place has hosted rituals in the past. The following video took place in an Armenian household and was captured by a man called Ragalzu. He was your standard man. He had 3 children, a loving wife, and a very well-off income. But he had a hobby which did not make sense considering all this success. He often visited haunted locations because he, quote, enjoyed the thrill of being in life-threatening danger. And as I said, considering his success, this made 0 sense. The video that you are about to see took place during one of his adventures in an abandoned house in rural Armenia, and what he caught on video was wild.
Y segundo, que la batería del teléfono me dure. Uy, hijo de puta, cogió la par mía. Ariel Jiménez, hola, buena. Tocayo, tengo el mismo nombre y apellido. ¡A la verga! Les dije. Corrió a la par mía, giré y me cerró la puerta atrás. Qué lindo, ¿no? Ah, gritaron. Están gritando afuera. Ojalá que... Ojalá que se haya grabado bien todo. Literalmente corrió a la par mía que escuché el... Así me doy vuelta y cierro la puerta. Mira. La está viendo. ¿Te paso papel? Nah, Shifu. Permiso. Ok. Tiriri. Ah, su puta madre. Tanto a joder con la puerta.
From the peculiar noises to the doors moving without any visible force acting upon them, it was clear that paranormal activity was at a high in this place. Furthermore, Ragglezu claimed to have felt awfully cold all of a sudden when the paranormal stuff began, which is a telltale sign of a spirit being present. Going out late at night can be a scary experience, especially in a place that can become as sketchy as the streets of Mexico. This clip was filmed by a young man called Stefan, and he was out late after walking his girlfriend back home from the bar like a gentleman. He made it to the train station to get back home when he noticed a gateway opening and closing by itself. Instinctively, Stefan took out his phone to record the incident occurring, and to his absolute joy, the spirit did not halt in its antics.
Mira, cosas que pasan en Barrancos, en el Metropolitano. Oh, qué miedo. Uy, el cuco. El cuco. Uy.
This phenomenon was unexplainable because, as you can see by the lack of movement, it clearly wasn't a windy day in Mexico. On top of this, the gate was supposed to be sealed, and after the clip surfaced, the operator who sealed the gate promised that he did it that night. The chances are that this was more than likely a ghost caught on camera. On March the 8th of 2025, Emma had just completed one of the best nights of her life. You see, she had turned 18 the day prior, so all of her friends slept over, and once they all returned back home, Emma retreated to her room for a recovery, so she would be okay to attend college the next day. Immediately after jumping into bed, her lights were out, but surprisingly, her day had one more surprise in store for her, but it was far from a pleasing one. On the other side of the door, Emma could hear some creepy dialect, and she started to realize that it kind of sounded like somebody she knew. Her friend, Nicole, had only left the house 10 minutes prior, but she had 100% driven away, and the door had been locked, so it was not her. Whatever this spirit was trying to do, it clearly had negative intentions, considering it mimicked the voice of somebody close to Emma to try and invade her space. Fortunately, she did the wise move and ignored the mimic and gave it absolutely no attention once the video ended. This proved to be an amazing choice because slowly but surely, the human sounds started to drain out, and Emma was ready to jump back into bed, but for some reason, the mimic struck again.
And this is why I can't call the cops, because when I go to look, there's no one there. I know it's hard to see, but I'm not opening the door. There's like no one out there. And like, this is a window. There's no people, but this is a window, and you can really see out there. And it's hard to see out there. So I don't know what the hell is going on.
This time, as well as using its voice to mimic that of a loved one, it was scratching on the door, which added much more tension to the situation. As well as this, Emma decided that this time around, she was going to get proof that nobody was sitting on the other side. She filmed through both windows with an angle on the door, and to her dismay, nobody could be seen on the other side, making this whole saga unexplainable. Dua Lipa, not to be mistaken with the music artist Dua Lipa, is a popular social media influencer known for the combination of her attractive looks and paranormal content. She first started uploading videos centered around the paranormal universe quite some time ago, and it acted as a huge funnel for viewers to come into her TikTok page, so she did the only logical thing and rode the wave. She continued to visit some of the most haunted places on the planet, but none managed to deliver her true dream. Dua wanted to witness an apparition. An apparition is when a poltergeist reveals itself physically to the human eye, and these instances are far more rare than any other paranormal incident. Did she manage to capture one on camera for the first time in her life at this haunted shack? Well, have a look and find out for yourself.
Me estoy quedando en una cabaña por el cumpleaños de mi hermana y enfrente hay como una cabaña así, como pero abandonada, chiquita. Y es como una casita del árbol, así como para niños, no sé. O sea, pero se ve muy tenebroso. No sé si se vaya a caer esto porque está como todo podrido. Y no veo como para encender las luces ni nada. Mira, allá está la cabaña. Y... No tiene luz. Hay como una mesa, hay ganchitos de ropa y televisor.
If you were watching closely, you would have noticed the apparition that appeared 6 seconds into the clip. Its head slowly poked around the entrance to the shack before it ducked behind cover again, never revealing itself to the human eye again. Despite evidently feeling fear in the moment, Dua was pleased deep down that she finally managed to experience something of this magnitude and had documented it on YouTube. Her dream had finally been completed, and this proves that spirits don't always encourage discomfort and negativity, even if they intend to. Hotels are some of the strangest places out there, and people don't know why. For some reason, they just tend to have an odd feeling about them, not to mention that a large portion of them have had paranormal reports throughout their history. It does make sense, considering how many people actually stay within them over their lifespans. Anyway, the video that we are about to watch together came from a woman called Avery, and she worked at the hotel. One day, when a bunch of people came around, none of them wanted to stay in room 205, so she did her job and investigated it. These were her findings.
Okay, so I'm here at work tonight, and we have workers that come here that work on the railroad. I checked in 5 of them, and the second floor is where they usually go because that's where all the king suites are at. Well, they're all saying, please don't put me in room 205. I'm like, okay, what's wrong with 205? And not one of them would tell me what was wrong with 205? I said, is it haunted? Like, really, what is it? Nobody can tell me nothing. So, how about me and you, all of us, go up to room 205 and see why no one wants to rent that room. So hold on just a second. Okay, walking up there now. Going up the steps. How's everybody's night tonight? Hopefully it's good. Oh, these stairs kill me. Okay. I might have to turn the camera around, so I'm not very good at this, so just bear with me. All right. It's like really cold in here, though. Like, really cold. And the air's not even on. I mean, I don't see anything. So maybe we can sit. Yeah, the air and stuff's not on. Maybe sit in the dark. See if we can hear something. I don't know. I don't know what else to do. I'm gonna probably lose all my views for my people watching, but okay, let's do this. Oh God! All right, no, I'm out. I'm out. Okay, I guess I just got my answer. Oh my God! Going back to the front. Oh my gosh! Oh goodness! I don't know if you guys heard that or not, but I guess I got my answer. Okay, I think it is haunted. All right, have a good night.
Surprisingly, nothing happened up there. Well, at least on the surface level. After playing the clip back a couple of times, you start to notice that when she walked through the door, a voice could be heard, and it did not take me long to decipher what it said. Hey was the lone word, and if that was not the spirit inviting Avery in the room, I'm not sure what on earth else you could pin it to. Mirrors are known to be the closest thing to a spiritual gateway, and it is unknown as to why they have this reputation. One common superstition is that a mirror on the side of the wall acts as a portal to the underworld, and a surprising amount of people buy into this theory, one of those not being the boy in the upcoming clip. He was alone in his room jamming out to some music when his eyes detected motion in his doorway. Confused, the boy's eyes drifted to the door, and what he witnessed was beyond the unexpected. Take a look.
Oh my God, bro. I just seen the craziest shit. Look, over there. Over there, I just seen the craziest shit. Look! Oh my God. What was that? Oh my God. Oh my God, what is that? I'm like shaking right now. What is that? Look it. Watch, it's gonna do it again. It's gonna do it again. Look at that! Nah, bro.
Whatever that thing was, it was not human, and there are several reasons why. First of all, its entire figure was blacked out, and before you say it was all a shadow, the shadow was behind the blacked out part disproving this. Furthermore, the boy was home alone, and they had a lot of security, so a break-in would not have gone unnoticed. There are no excuses for this event. Of course, there will always be doubters though, and the audience of this clip were no different. This is why the boy uploaded a second clip, and this one was even harder to deny.
Look, there it is again. Look, even the cat's tripping. Even the cat's tripping. Last time he'll tell me to go look. I'm going to look. 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 It's literally just the bathroom. Look. Oh god. Don't ignore that. But look. Windows closed. There's nobody in here. It's just dirty. I'm just not... Like, what is going on, bro? Look at that. What?
This time he went and explored where the casting was coming from, and sure enough, there was nobody on the other side. Could this have been a concerningly coincidental casting from outside the house, or was there truly a spirit inside? Comment your opinions down below. Chase and his wife were staying at her grandpa's house after he recently passed away, and the reason was rather sad. The funeral had been arranged in a church local to where he used to live, but he lived quite far away, so they used his house as accommodation for the night before a new family started the process of moving in. The house already had a gloomy and unfortunate vibe to it, but when this happened, that feeling was only elevated.
How you doing? You okay?
I don't know.
So, we were just going to bed and we're not let me just show you. Like, we've literally had to put the bag up against the door because we're not sure. And like, we're literally just okay, so we're leaving. We got all of our stuff packed. Oh my gosh. Okay, yeah, we're out here. I'm leaving, like, I don't know what's going on.
All around the house, the doors were knocking and shaking, and this was unexplainable considering Chase and his wife were the only two humans in the house. They decided to leave the household and go to stay in a hotel elsewhere, but perhaps this was the wrong decision, because what if the ghost was in fact the grandpa of Chase's wife? James is one of our victims who knew that his house was haunted before recording his clip, but this did not stop him from getting frightened by the situation. The weird thing about James's story is that he purchased his property with the full knowledge of its haunted state, and here's why. He was in a very poor financial position and had to seek a small property. However, he was more of a spacious kind of guy, so searched for some potential bargains online, and soon enough, he found one. A pretty big home with a price as small as a terraced house, but the catch was, it was haunted, and it was not long until he experienced it firsthand.
We have come alive. These are accent pieces that are not meant to go unnoticed into the decor.
Alright guys, this is the place I stay. For the last 2 days I'm hearing things around. I'm really not sure what is it. Okay, let's find it out.
I always feel something here. Something around, man. Seriously. You know, like the footsteps or something. Always. Always I hear that. Hey, do you hear that? Oh my god. Oh my god, man. Oh shit, look at the face on the pillow. Oh, what the fuck, man. Whoa. Let's move on, man.
He walked around the house whilst filming to see if anything would happen, and for a while, none of the spirits seemed to entertain his antics. However, towards the end, a nice-looking chair moved on its own accord, confirming to James that he had not bought a property that would be easy to live in. We can only pray that he is able to cope in the future. 11 years ago today, Ronnie Jewett discovered that the attic in his house was haunted, and he has not been the same since. He was a member of a relatively normal family, and whilst they did all find him to be on the more weird side of things, he was nowhere near weird, to the extent that he would be expected to be haunted. Ronnie didn't believe in any sort of religious or spiritual creatures, and had an "I'll believe it if I see it" mentality. Well, in this short video, he did see it, and he was very close to believing it.
Okay. Alright. See, I have no strings or nothing. This box of a fan keeps fucking moving on its own. No, I have I don't see how I would have strings attached anywhere. I'm holding the camera with my other hand, so... Oh my god!
After this scenario, Ronnie tried to come up with all sorts of silly reasons as to why this was not caused by a spirit, but despite his efforts, nothing that exited his mouth was logical. He went as far as blaming rats in the attic for moving and causing vibrations that moved the box. But let's be real, that's a bit of a stretch. You and I both know that Ronnie experienced the paranormal, and the sooner he believes it is, the sooner he solves all of this. In the following video, a man who had been haunted for many years had decided that enough was enough and was going to perform an exorcism. The thing was that he was completely uneducated in this field, but thought that the sole belief in God that he had would be enough to enhance his skills. Unfortunately, knowing how to read a holy scripture and say your God's name was not enough for the man to banish the spirit from his home, and above all, just made everything worse.
In the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit, te pido, Señor, que me proteja en el nombre del Padre, Hijo y Espíritu Santo. Hoy quiero leer este salmo. Thus says the Lord, your Redeemer, the Holy One of Israel. I am the Lord of the God, who teaches you, the prophet, who leads you by the way you should go.
In the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit, I command you to take these demons out of the house. In the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit, I ask you to leave my house, please. I command you to leave the house in the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. I am reading the Father's prayers. Leave this house now. Leave in the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. I command you to leave right now. In the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit.
The fact that this ritual was supposed to make the spirit leave this household is beyond crazy, because that is nowhere near what it did. The words of the man did nothing but aggravate it, causing screaming and a huge paranormal surge. Not to mention the fact that the cross flipped upside down, which confirmed that this was the cause of a demon, likely why it was angry when the scripture was read. Moving into a new house can be one of the most stressful periods in a person's life, and there are many factors that play into this. One of the biggest factors, especially when relocating to somewhere far away, is whether or not it is the right move for you. And I doubt that this is the case if you were to find out your new home was inhabited by the paranormal. Unfortunately, the father in the following video, called Clay, was home alone with his daughter in the new house alone, and he noticed something weird. Have a watch.
Hey guys, I just want to show you something. I just moved into a new house, and some weird things have been happening. Here, just let me show you. Pardon the mess. It's a little bit of a disaster because, like I said, we just moved in. But anyways, right here, I just want to show you my daughter is sleeping. Okay? Now watch. Here, this back room is where it gets weird. Just listen to this. Look at my cat reacting. Nope, not doing it. Hang on. She's still right here. I can't do this.
For some mysterious and unknown reason, the voice of his daughter could be heard coming from inside a random room, and Clay made it very evident that the child was not in this room. The poltergeist he had come across was clearly a mimic, which is an entity that can copy the voice of anything with ease in order to manipulate and scare its victims. Clay and his wife are currently in the process of banishing the spirit and are in negotiations with a local ghost hunter. Feel free to wish them luck in the comments. A woman in the Netherlands had recently moved to a new apartment in hopes of seeking a fresh start due to her old place of residence being haunted. In most cases, leaving a haunted house leads to the person never experiencing something paranormal ever again. But in a minority of cases, this is not what happens. That is because a ghost can be attached to a person as well as a property, and in the situations where the spirit follows them to their new home, it is because it is with the person. Anyways, this happened to the woman in this video.
Dat lichtknipper er weer aan en uit in de hal. Oh, in het nieuwe huis. Dat. Oh, ik durf niet. Oh, ik durf niet. Verdorie. Helemaal klaar mee. Oh. Oh. Ik durf echt niet.
돈으로 가라니죠.
She had heard some noises coming from behind the door with the flashing lights and took it upon herself to go and investigate rather than stay in the room and not find out the source. To her dismay, there was nothing causing the sounds, and she realized that this may have been the worst possible outcome. Her ghost had followed her. When the sound was followed up by a swinging light and an apparition, she knew that her theory was confirmed and wanted to try a way other than moving house to solve the issue. In order to save money and not pay a ghost hunter, she is currently talking to a priest and prays that she will see a day without a demon beside her. On September the 10th of 2024, something was captured on a street-side camera that made most people question their sanity. The specific time was around 9 p.m., and the only reason that the camera was checked by the local forces was because an incident had happened on the street that night. There were 5 witnesses, but that was not enough when there was a literal camera on site. Well, what if I told you the police got the witness count wrong and missed one?
Perhatikan bayangan di pojok kiri.
If you look closely, there was clearly a spirit in the middle of the road, but what it was doing is beyond me. The reason we know it was a spirit rather than a shadow casting was because it was standing still the entire time, and none of the humans in the area were idle. Furthermore, the way in which it fled the scene was ghost-like as it drifted down the road, but I guess we will never know for sure if a poltergeist is what this camera caught. Gemma was visiting a group of her friends who lived in another part of Portugal that they did. She was fortunately allowed to stay in her best friend Megan's house for her stay, which prevented her from having to fork out the money for a hotel, and this is what really allowed her to go on such an adventure. There was something that Megan hid from Gemma that might have led to her cancelling the entire trip, and this information was that the house was haunted and the moment that Gemma found out what was caught on camera.
It's me. I'm getting ready to say goodbye. I'm going back to Florida.
Did you see that?
Oh my god.
Did you see that?
Oh my gosh.
Happening here.
What the heck was that? And there's nothing here.
So sometimes these things open like by themselves and it's, oh my gosh, you gotta see this.
Oh my gosh.
Like, I'm scared.
Fortunately, Gemma was leaving the city the next morning anyway, hence why she was sending a goodbye message at the beginning, but she had no clue what the video would entail. From a running child to a drawer opening by itself, it was horrifying for Gemma, and even managed to insert fear into Megan, who was meant to be used to all of this. In many of our recent videos, we have included a clip from a ghost hunter known as the Midwest Ghost Hunter, but his real name is Ian. In all of these videos, he has been exploring the exact same place, a haunted manor, and we are finally nearing the end of this exploration. Every piece of content that came from this search has been amazing, and this one that you are about to watch, filmed after a spirit turned the lights on, even gave Ian a spook. Take a look.
Holy crap, that's a shock to the system. I've been walking around the dark for hours. Susie, did you just turn this light on? I took it off the infrared just to show you guys what I'm seeing right now. I can see a lot better now, so thank you for turning the light. I can't see. Oh my god, I am getting really freaked out in here. Jeez Louise, it's almost like she's toying with me. Are you having fun messing with me? It's okay if you are, I mean, that's why I'm here. So thank you. Is there anything else you'd like to do?
For some reason, just moments are turning the lights on. Susie, the spirit in question, turned them off again in an attempt to frighten Ian. The attempt was a success, and he was left terrified, just like you should be left terrified for my next video, because a video from Ian will appear again. Subscribe so you don't miss it. No matter how strange you think this is, quite a lot of people enjoy the thrill of paranormal activity. Of course, we have ghost hunters who go and visit all sorts of ghostly places to banish ghosts for a fee. But what I am about to talk about are people who do it purely for passion rather than money, and I don't know how they are able to enjoy such activities. One man who goes to haunted locations for fun all of the time is called Rehan, and one day he visited what he claimed to be the most haunted house he had entered yet. Was he overhyping the location, or was it truly a portal to hell? Well, take a look and find out for yourself. At first, a lot of things fell over off camera, and you could audibly hear the thuds in which they made. Furthermore, there were upside-down crosses dotted all around the house, and it doesn't take a genius to know that it was a sign of a demonic presence in the household. Finally, some objects fell on camera at the end of the video, sending Rayhan rushing out in fear of his life, praying extra that night. Elias Samel is a man who has faced the paranormal more times than he can count, and if you're a regular on this channel, then you will certainly agree with that statement. It seems like he appears in all of our videos at the moment, and the truth is that I can't stop including his clips due to the sheer amount of them available to us. Recently, Elias decided to relocate and move house because of how bad his old one was becoming, and hoped that all of the horrors in his day-to-day life would leave for good, but unfortunately, this was not the case. The spirits followed him to his new home.
Se andaba dando un recorrido, pero escuché un ruido muy fuerte y vengo a ver y me encontré con esto. Esta silla no tiene por qué caerse. Vete de aquí, déjame en paz. No hay nadie, amigos. No. ¿Por qué se movió? No. ¿Quién eres? Vete de aquí. Déjame en paz. Voy a salir un rato porque no.
He initially began the recording because he heard a banging sound, so wanted to see what he could capture. Immediately after recording, everything stopped, but he continued to walk around the house and film in hopes that something would occur. It did. His chair glided across the floor as if somebody was pushing it, and it was very evident that nobody was, at least nobody visible. A spirit was behind this, and it had followed him to his new residence. The bar is a place full of drunken men, and after football games, they are usually on another level of full. People come in to catch up with their pals and talk about the game that just unfolded, so business booms in these places, just like the intake of drinks does. Drinking this much can cause drunkenness, and one man called Dave thought that this phenomenon of which he caught on his phone was just a product of his irresponsible drinking. But after getting home and watching back the footage, he realized that it actually happened. His glass of beer slowly slid across the table at the speed of a snail until coming to a complete halt in front of Dave's friend. Dave was very fortunate to have filmed this, otherwise he would have been stuck thinking it was some form of hallucination, but luckily now he knows that it was not. The following video took place in the bottom floor of a single mother's house, and I would not wish what happened onto my worst enemy, let alone a lone mother of two. The woman, Serena, was doing an activity as simple as watching television one night after putting both of her children to bed after another long, stressful day, and just wanted to relax. However, despite her keenness to sit back and chill for the night, a certain poltergeist was not so fond of the idea and caused absolute chaos. Have a watch. Serena started to hear some mysterious sounds coming from downstairs, and they managed to wake up her daughter, although her son slept through it. This angered her, so she went downstairs in hopes of finding the source of the noise, but instead of a source, she found more trouble. The chairs in the hidden room were going crazy, and both her and her daughter were very upset. They slept together that night with the mother not knowing what to do next, so leave some advice down below in the comments in case she comes across this video. Jaime Waters had known his situation regarding how haunted his house was for quite some time now, and it was just a matter of what he was going to do about it. At first, he thought the best idea would be to contact his local church or something to see what they could do for him, but then he realized that this was a good way to gain exposure on social media, so purchased some gear and started documenting his hauntings. One night at around 2 a.m., his gear started lighting up an absurd amount, and he knew that this paranormal spike was much higher than usual, so began to film in case something happened, and to his fortune, it did, and it was on camera.
If that's the spirit, can you please do something? Oh my god. Oh my god. Jesus Christ.
After a few moments of waiting and asking the ghost to do its thing, the spike paid off, and all of the portraits fell from the wall in front of Jaime's eyes, and most importantly, his camera. He took this footage and uploaded it online, hoping to see some success, and surprisingly, it actually did. He got a decent amount of views and some recognition, so we'll definitely be keeping the spirit around for longer. Subscribe to see his videos if he continues. The case of Abiud is an ongoing case where a man called Abdul is constantly observing his house in fear that it is haunted by something called Abiud. Unnatural things happen inside of his household all the time, and it has gotten to the point where it is weird for normal things to happen rather than weird for strange things too. Abdul has started randomly filming around the house nowadays in order to try and capture the spirit in raw and authentic moments, and the video that you are about to watch is a product of one of his checkups. Take a look.
Ya estoy terminando de así. Aquí lo que me llama la atención es que el humo permanece. Digo, bueno, en el teléfono no se aprecia muy bien que digamos, pero como que el humo de verdad toma una cierta forma extraña, no sé cómo explicarlo. De hecho, las cadenas ya empezaron a moverse otra vez. Todo bien acá. Pero sí se ve un poco curioso esto. Hola. Hola. ¿Ya te fuiste? ¿Ya te fuiste? Y empiezan a moverse. Hola, hola. ¿Ya te fuiste? De hecho empiezan a sonar las campanas aquí, como que algo truena, no logro distinguir qué es. Incluso las cadenas de ellas se están moviendo más. Las cadenas. Y se están moviendo más fuerte. Y suena. Como que sí le está molestando el incienso, no sé qué onda. Pues si no te parece, entonces vete, no tengo problema. Ve. Ay, ok, esto no me lo esperaba, definitivamente esto no me lo esperaba.
First of all, the bells started clashing against each other, generating their ringing noise, but this was by no means caused by the wind. It was obvious that some kind of invisible force was acting on it though, and if it wasn't the wind, it was a spirit. This was further backed up by the swaying of the chains and the door closing on its own accord, basically confirming that this was a paranormal surge rather than a high wind altitude. Orissa is a semi-professional archer who has been in the business for a long time, training for a goal of becoming a full-fledged professional. In order to do this, she needs to rent out complete training studios to conduct her practices and get better every day. But little did she know when choosing her studio that it would be haunted. Watch this video.
I'm back with another creepy experience in my training studio. Earlier this year, I caught on camera a very creepy experience that happened to me whilst I was filming. But since then, nothing really weird has happened until tonight. So I'm trying to film an archery video in the room next door, but it's still the same studio. It's 9 p.m, I'm training on my own, and I hear a man's voice as clear as day from behind this door.
I just heard a voice.
Is there someone here? Hello? I go to check the cameras in the front room to make sure that I'm the only person in this building. And then it sounds like a pen is dropping behind me down the corridor. Okay. Oh, Jesus. Okay. Oh, Jesus. What the hell? I got the creeps. I'm gonna take it that... My eyes are watering all of a sudden for no reason. Even though I am training on my own, was I really alone?
The pen dropping, followed by the footsteps, made it seem like somebody else was in the studio with her, but she was more than certain that this was not the case. The studio came in bookings, meaning that she was the only person legally allowed on the property, and after checking the cameras, it was evident that no one had broken in. Another haunting in this studio, to add to many.